Lucid dreaming is a paradox of consciousness. In your waking life, all the thoughts that you experience are produced from external stimuli, say like a needle poking your leg or a torch flashing your eye, and internal stimuli, which would be memories or opinions and emotions, and these are all processed, and the outcome is your thoughts, the state of your mind. But in a lucid dream, there's no arousal component of consciousness, so all the stimuli you experience are internal stimuli. So everything that happens in a lucid dream has come from your own imagination. And that sounds pretty obvious, but to look at it another way, a dream character that you speak to in a lucid dream, every word that he thinks of has been thought of by yourself. So when you're talking to a dream character in a lucid dream, you're actually just talking to yourself. And yet, everything that they say to you can seem completely spontaneous, and they can come out with things that you never would have thought of yourself. You can have these profound conversations, but it's just that one part of your mind, you, as you are in that lucid dream, is talking to another part of your mind, someone else, and you can have this phenomenal self-reflection in a lucid dream that you never would have in waking life. The very first time I ever became lucid, I suddenly realised that I'd been sleeping through my dreams, and that sounds ridiculous, but what I mean to say is I suddenly realised what a dream actually was. In Plato's caves, Plato describes a group of people that are chained up against a wall, and they watch the shadows of people walking past the entrance to a cave, and they think that reality is just made up of shadows on a wall, because that's all they've ever experienced. And Plato goes on to describe a man who turns around from the wall, turns away from the shadows and sees the actual people walking past the cave. You know, he sees what real life actually is. And that moment of turning away from the wall is what the moment of becoming lucid feels like. You suddenly realise you're in a dream. You suddenly realise which reality you're in. And it's a complete step back, and it's a really profound moment, and it's very, very useful and important, because your brain at that moment is functioning at a very high state. I don't think you can achieve that kind of functioning in waking life, because you can reflect on things in dreams, you can reflect on your own personality, you can utilise this dream world in ways that you can't achieve in waking life, and that's a very important tool. And perhaps with further research in lucid dreaming, we'll be able to harness this, this realization, this state of consciousness, and use it to further our, the development of our minds, use it therapeutically, and basically use it to utilize our brains to their full potential.